And welcome back to another video. Today we have a special video.
It's like a bit of a flashback, so to speak.
Yeah, traveling back in time.
Flashback, yeah.
To the Tundra Wolves Challenge 5.
That's 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Then we have Rich Bourque.
Yeah. Who's the other player?
I believe it is Pez.
Oh yeah, so
Pez Unholy.
so the deck versus like a green, white, blue aggro.
Yeah.
Alright, so I mean the deck is the deck. I don't know.
Yeah, the deck is the deck.
You know,
the deck is the deck. So
for those of you new to the format, this is the deck. 61 cards we noted, right?
61 cards, as we noted, and
which is
no factories.
Yeah, but not typical, right? To play 61 in a control deck. Is that normal?
You see it from time to time. It's not too common. I feel
like you want to be as efficient as possible in a control deck, and adding the extra card makes you less efficient.
Yeah, like I get the Shahrazad deck. You know, having that one extra card makes sense.
There's like a direct purpose for that extra card, though.
Yeah, but funny enough, it's just like usually I'm surprised. You know, usually the decks have factories. This doesn't. The only win con is really the fireball.
Well, so the fact that there's no factories is probably because of the hippies in this sideboard. Like, there's a lot of like the 2 black requirement off that card definitely makes you more strained on your colors. So like, and especially if you're not playing 4 strip, maybe it's okay to not.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean.
Or no, sorry, the opposite. Actually, wait a minute. If there's 1 strip, you would maybe play more factories.
Yeah, if there's 1 strip, you want to play more.
Yeah.
There's more space for...
But again, though, those hippies might have scared them. Like, you know, double black. I think those are there for the mirror, maybe?
Maybe the mirror match. You would have to take out the Abyss,
I think
main board, having
Brian,
flying creatures, then having, like, control magic on the side.
I think that was a Brian Weissman tech a couple of years ago for some tournament he went to. He was expecting a lot of something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but...
You're expecting a lot of cards to be played.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but I get why the hippies are there.
But just to say though, 2 Ivory Tower, I think maybe I would have put only 1 and played the 4th Tome or a 2nd Abyss moat, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like it. Maybe. And now we have, it's like a Erhnamgeddon light.
Yeah.
With, interesting enough, no sideboard.
Unless there is one, you just didn't picture it. I don't take pictures of my sideboards because they change depending on the event. You know, it's like your sideboard is very like dependent on the event. So, but anyways, whatever. So it's pretty typical. The pixies though are interesting. You don't always see them, but I like them. Yeah, unfortunately, those block factories, right? Freely.
Yeah, they take no damage from artifact creatures. So
unfortunately, because this is actually an upside for the deck here, because like no factories to have to worry about that.
Well, I mean, I would understand playing the pixies because you're like obviously expecting factories. They're such a powerful card in the format.
I mean, it's also.
It's not like it's not unheard of to play pixies, or if you're playing against like a shops deck, you know, Suchis, Juggernauts, whatever.
Yeah, true. It's not just for the factories. That's true.
Yeah,
but also it's on curve though, right? If you're calling yourself an aggro deck, it's good to have the curve. So line on 1, pixie on 2.
Yeah, he's got that perfect curve of lines on 1, pixie on 2. You know, the Ifrit on 3 and the Jinn on 4. Yeah. So
1 counter spell is interesting. I don't know. So I guess it's technically 2 counter spells. It looks like it's just like 2 singleton cards, but they are effectively the same cards.
Well, going back to the whole 1 and 4 strip thing, I believe this is Boreal because we have 4 strips.
Oh yeah, what's going on?
So it's probably the Boreal format. Which is to be expected. It means the Tundra Wolves, so it's probably why he leans heavier towards the.
So then Rich is just opting actively to not play the 4 strip. So again, really, it has to be a color thing. Then it must.
Yeah. So that also the fact that Rich was also playing like some basic lands, probably fearing Blood Moons. Which is understandable. Yeah. And going back to Pez's deck, I mean, it's got like some basis cover. Like you said, I just find the counterspell kind of like out of place for this kind of deck, considering what it's trying to do.
You want to tap out. I mean, the mana drain is fine. Like, you are a big deck, I think. The mana drain is fine. I think it's okay to play that. Counterspell is probably just a slot, right? Like, could it be a Sylvan Library, maybe?
Sylvan Library. I mean, if you're playing Erhnamgeddon, maybe another Moxen.
Or or
playing Armageddon, like another Moxen of Felwar.
Felwar, interesting.
You know, to kind of stabilize your mana base.
Yeah. So this was the first year we had visual, but there was no commentary.
Yeah.
Right, and then...
Yeah. Okay, so Pez coming out with a factory.
Yeah, honestly, like, the deck, thinking about it without the factories, you probably do just feel a lot more comfortable with all your land draws and drops, because you're just like, you know that everything you do is going to be able to cast the cards you want to play, as opposed to...
Yeah. But depending just on that one fireball...
Yeah, you have to have full control of the game.
Yeah. Okay, so he's countering the...
So like, I guess in a matchup where your opponent wants to play creature, you can afford to use your counter spells on the creatures. Typically, you want to like not do that. Use like save the counter spells, because counter spells are extremely important, right? But if all they're doing is playing creatures, then
yeah,
the use of the counter spell becomes okay on those creatures.
Speaking of counter spells, he's just slamming one after another.
Yeah. Right, because like, you know, you play slowly, you play patiently. Your balances and your plows keep you alive. Your balance like 2-for-1s, maybe 3-for-1s. Them.
So Rich playing a very powerful Brain Geyser at the moment, basically replenishing his hand.
Yeah,
tapping out and then sacking his Lotus, and then just absolutely okay. There you go.
See, so countering the Ifrit, it probably makes the most sense. The Jinn, though, like both your Moat and your Abyss mess it up, right? So you have Plows, Abyss, Moat, and Balance to mess up the Jinn. I don't know if you counter that. Unless you have nothing in your hand that can deal with creatures and you're just afraid of the damage. Maybe he deals 8 to 12 instead of 4 to 8, and that's too scary.
Yeah. I'm thinking the Ivory Tower was probably put in because he's like, if I'm being attacked with factories, I'll have enough cards in my hands to deal with the 2 per turn kind of deal. You know what I mean? But now it's been disenchanted, so that's not the case. But maybe that was his thinking. I'll put the towers in, I'll have a full hand.
But see, as much as the deck is the control deck, I feel like it does want to dump its hand, you know?
Yeah, so now playing powerful Abyss.
Yeah. I mean, hindsight 2020 here, right? Like, countering the Jinn now feels bad a little bit. Maybe not. I mean, he did have the Pixie, so if it was another creature...
But his hand was also empty, and replenishing his hand with the Brain Geyser, then drew into the Abyss. So Pez too really like playing a pretty good, Brain Geyser for...
Just to say, like, you're not going to not counter just because your Brain Geyser might draw you into the... You know what I mean? So, like, it's okay that he did it. That's just to say, like, hindsight, it feels a bit bad. But it's fine. And yeah, Brain Geyser galore here. Okay, but the deck...
and he's regrowing the Brain Geyser.
And he has the Soul Ring and the rocks, right? So he's...
he's going in deep.
He's way ahead.
He's digging deep.
And he's definitely feeling okay to tap out completely, because his Abyss is covering all the threats that... Oh my god, if an Armageddon comes out from the other side, would be pretty good. But then again, it wouldn't.
Yeah, but it wouldn't affect him too much. He's got some mana rocks, and now with...
So he's just so far ahead. Oh, the deck is...
the deck is just, it's got a lot of bases covered. It's powerful from all angles.
Yeah, I know.
It's got a couple of, weaknesses, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean...
It's not perfect. I mean, old school, that's probably more a result of the old school format and card pool than it is a result of the actual deck.
Yeah, that's true.
But Rich has 7 cards in his hand. Okay, we're
disenchanting.
We're disenchanting the Ivory Tower instead of the card that shuts the whole deck down.
I would probably start swinging with.
Because he has factories, right?
Factories.
Factories do beat Abyss.
Yeah, they do. I mean, he was tapped out, so you figured probably it was the right time to play the disenchant.
Yeah, it makes more sense. A lot more sense now, actually. So yeah, disenchanting the Ivory Tower when you have 2 factories certainly makes a lot more sense. So that's good. That's good.
I mean, yes, on Rich's side, you could have swords, you could have disenchant, but you gotta throw in.
Yeah, you gotta.
I mean, knowing the deck player, he's probably got at least 1 or 2 disenchants main.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the longer you wait, the more resources the deck player gets, and then then you're definitely dead. So
okay, so probably swordsing the factory.
Ooh, mana drain protection. I think he has no choice. That's a good. I think you have to. I mean, like, you're making the choice, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can either try to counter some weird clutch thing that the deck player does, or I can protect my source of killing him in the face of an abyss. Ooh.
Okay. Well, at least it's knocking off a swords and a counter spell out from the opponent's hand. So... Still rather quite effective, but I mean, still losing a factory as a result.
Yeah, that's
Ancestral.
Hey, boy.
Probably the most powerful card in the format. Disenchanting, yeah. Alright. Yeah, so doing the Ancestral on the end step, and because the factory is still an artifact creature, disenchanting it. So now Pez has got to have a plan B.
And there's a book. Are you sure that Twiddle's not the strongest card in the format?
No. Here's a new challenge. Every time Mark mentions Twiddlevolt, take a shot.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, like, every time this happens with the book and all the mana open,
Yeah.
you know, for me, it's like book plus counterspell mana or book plus...
Okay, disenchanting, counterspell. So that's 4 counterspells now, I
Yeah,
think.
that's all 4 of them, yeah.
So now he's got like... Okay, he's got the Chaos Orb. Activating it.
Yeah, draw a card.
He's going to draw a card.
Disenchant?
Oh! Damn it.
No rest for the...
Do not pass go.
Yeah.
Do not collect $200. Go directly to jail. Yeah. That's it. You know, when you have like 2 powerful Brain Geysers, an Ancestral, you're how many cards ahead? Like 12, 14 cards?
Yeah.
At that point, it's really hard to get. So now he's just dropping all his mana. So now he has to have at least like 20 mana for the Fireball. Or he has to play the Time Twister to then reshuffle. You know what I mean? Like, he's to have...
There is also still the most powerful play you can make in old school.
What's that?
Which is have the opponent concede.
Yeah.
At some point, like, you know, like, there's so much emotional damage that can be done by the deck that it just wrecks your game 2 and 3 also.
Yeah. At first, I used to really get upset playing against the deck, but then I kind of learned how to navigate playing against it, and you could kind of see it, you know, at the beginning if you're going to be ahead or not. So,
but then sometimes like this happens, you know. And it's just, I don't think there's a single thing that the Erhnam deck can do at this point.
No, not with the Abyss on board. He has to draw, like, he has to be able to cast 2 creatures to then be able to swing with at least one of them next turn.
Like the turn with the Chaos Orb, where he had what did he do before Chaos Orb that got countered also?
Well, he played the Mana Drain.
No. He put on the turn with the Rich used his 4th counter spell on something, and then right after has played the Chaos Orb. I don't remember what he played. He tried to blow up the...
Because he tried to blow up, I think,
The book?
The book, or he played the Disenchant.
Was it the Disenchant?
Oh, there.
Oh,
He
no.
found his Fireball.
Yeah, but now you can just do that, you know, recall it. Recall it or
Does
time...
he have a recall in his deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has one recall.
Also Time Twister, and just play that long.
Yeah, that's why I was like figuring, like, either the draw 7 spell, Time Twister, or recall for 1. Get the Fireball back. Okay, so he's playing 3 creatures. He's swinging in.
Thing is like, you know, it's good, but now Moat, just 3-for-1s.
Yeah.
Balance, 3-for-1s. Demonic gets either one of those 2 cards.
He has to be careful with balance, because he's going to lose a lot of his lands.
Sure.
So, yeah, at this point, you're really hoping for a Twister or a recall.
Or
Yeah, there you go. Recall for 1.
You can even you can even ping them all, right? Or, you know, obviously he has mana to probably just win the game, but just to save.
But how savage is that? You just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna ping your creatures instead. Yeah. And there we have it. Game 1. Rich taking the win. I mean, 2 Brain Geysers, Ancestral. It's just like, you know. nail after nail in the coffin.
So
it's hard to really get back from that.
It's certainly okay to play a 1, 2, 3 color deck and only play the mocks of those colors, not play all of them. But you can see sometimes what happens when you do have access to them all, and your deck is mana hungry. Just how much of an advantage you can get just from having those extra sources, right?
Yeah. Although the only thing I would have probably changed in Rich's deck is take out the second Felwar and keep the, make it a 60 card deck. So 61.
I think I'd still get I don't know, the Ivory Towers. I'm never really convinced by Ivory Tower, to be honest.
Yeah, my thinking is just because there's no factories and he wants life.
Yeah, sure.
He's probably scared of that's the thing. Counterburn versus the deck is the two biggest. So he's probably scared of facing Counterburn at some point. So
I think I'd rather have be the aggressive deck and see my opponent in top deck mode with a tower in play than ever have to see another book followed by a book followed by another tome. I think I would. I don't know, but at the same time, it's fine. There's at least 1 to 3, maybe. Well, 3 sounds like a lot. Flex slots in the deck.
Yeah, people tend to change it up a bit, between Sarah Angels, Ivory Towers.
Yeah.
There's always these slight variations. So game 2 has started. Getting out with the moat immediately.
Well, it's not that. I'm not sure how strong that is because A, there's no threats in play. B, if the threat comes down that's a flying creature, you've wasted your lotus. The lotus is an extremely important resource in the deck. You need to use that at the right time.
Okay, so just
not to mention your opponent's playing disenchant effects and what did he regrow? What did he regrow?
I think it's Strip Mine.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's really good.
So now he's just gonna go swing in for broke, swing in. Limit his resources. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, more creatures, but can't attack them.
Yeah, but at least.
Yeah, all he has to do is find a white source, right, and then disenchant the moat.
Or if the opponent finds the white source, he could also swords.
Well, he had the white source. He didn't have the swords though. Felwar still? Yeah. Okay. We found our blue mana, number 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 3 damage is nice, but it might, it is still a bit slow. So
yeah, there was I think the Tundra Wolves Challenge 3. I played against someone who was playing the deck, and for the second half of the game, they were at 1 life, and I could not win. It's just
that's the thing that makes the control player the happiest is winning at 1 life. If there's anything that you must never do, is let them win when they're at 1 life.
Yeah, I had them down to 1 life. I was like, come on. I was
yeah,
and I got the factory beat down. I remember that game. So just keeping steady.
Yeah, a bit of a standoff here. Rich not seeming to find more mana.
He's got 2 turns. Regrowing the plains.
Okay, that means he has the plow, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He's at 5, so we gotta find a white source and a disenchant to go to game 3.
Yeah, if he finds a disenchant and a white source.
Pez can be happy that Rich does not have access to a second blue source, and he has a regrowth of land, which means, that's a white source. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, we have a game. Well, we always had a game, but we're back in the game, I'm saying, right? We're back in the game. Oh, there's a second blue source, but it could be too late, right?
Yeah.
Another moat. That's true, there is a second one in the sideboard.
Yeah, so he sideboarded that in.
However, we are a disenchant deck, and if one person can get 2 of a card.
Not doing very much, unfortunately. Maybe he has a disenchant.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
No disenchant in the hand, though, which means you can just top deck it. So at any point, that card just comes in. Oh. Blue source? White blue? No. Disenchant is how you win the game, so you don't let him have... he's got 3 cards in his hand, so... I think Tundra was...
Yeah, I think Tundra would have been probably...
Oh, sorry. No. Felwar Stone is turned on by his own Tundra, so... It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. No, but then you take away his counterspell.
No,
because he doesn't have double blue.
sorry. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, the point is like taking with double blue.
Oh,
okay.
well.
I guess he figured the blue was inevitable.
Yeah. He just needs the disenchant to work, and hope to God he doesn't have a counterspell, and then just go in for lethal.
He might be in a position where you have to draw the disenchant and not play it until you draw something else that might be more worth countering. But I don't know how many turns you have to do that. That's
So now he's got the book. Yeah. He's starting to build his now he could draw per turn.
Every turn you pass doing nothing versus the deck, it gives them 1.3 to 1.5 turns depending on what they do. It's really they can get ahead so fast. I mean, we witnessed it in game 1.
Okay, it's dropping 2 mana rocks.
So this is the kind of position where when you've been doing nothing all game and you have all this mana, you just tome on your turn. I don't think you need to wait until they're end step.
Yeah. So Pez having 2 cards. I don't know if he's going to try to pass a card saying, do you counter a flying creature? Then when the counterspell is played and then play the disenchant? Kind of like psyching the opponent out? Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, now it's
looking rougher and rougher. Oh, do we draw disenchant and no counterspell? It's always possible they don't have a counterspell, right? Sometimes you just gotta go for it and say, do you have it? And if he says I don't have it, that's game 3. He has it.
He has it, yeah.
And a mana drain. Okay. We have ourselves a winner going to game 3? Could it be?
Could it be?
On the last possible turn? Nice. No plow? We got that am I about to lose card shuffle?
I think that's the... Damn it!
Oh, he can draw a card.
Yeah.
But no, it wouldn't matter. He can draw and plow.
Yeah,
he can draw and plow.
Yes. He can draw and plow the...
Oh, gains 4 life. Okay, goes to 1. But that takes him out of Ivory Tower range, and he has to draw a winning.
He has to draw, then he can draw again.
It has
the book
to be,
is not there.
It has to be balanced. Recall, right? Recall can find the moat again. But game 3 is more exciting, so let's get there.
That's the...
Also, nobody wants to see the deck win 2-0. Even though I'd play the deck before I played Erhnamgeddon, no one wants to see the deck win 2-0.
Funny enough, it's one of our, on our channel, it's one of the top views. Everyone talks smack against the deck, but then it has the most views. It's
it's interesting.
It's probably just people will just watch me I hope they lose.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, come try to watch the deck player lose. Happy to see it do its thing, but wanting to see it lose.
Okay.
Let's see. We got a long...
Okay, so he's got a plan. Demonic Tutor.
Gets balance. Right? Or, well, yeah. Balance.
Yeah, balance is... maybe he doesn't want to do...
Well, he's got all those mocks in. And plus they're pretty much tied for lands, so... In fact, Pez will have to sacrifice a land. Oh, Wrath of God instead. Well, I wonder why. Maybe he only has 1 card in his hand, Pez, and Rich didn't want to discard?
I don't know. Because the Chaos Orb wouldn't be any good.
No.
He gets rid of 1 creature.
Yeah, he must not
balance, he probably didn't want to get rid of his lands.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know. He has less lands than Pez. I think it's because he didn't want to lose his hand size since he's trying to build towards Ivory Tower.
How many does Pez have? Looks like he's holding...
I think he just had 1, and then he just drew a second. And Rich has 3, so he would have lost 2 cards. I think. It looks like 2. So this is when you're at 1 life and you're the deck player in this position, not having factories is looking suspicious a little bit. Now, of course, he's getting lucky that his opponent does not have his own factories in play. Oh.
Balance, no cards in hand. Power move. So 4 lands.
Yeah, he'll have to sacrifice 1 land. Yeah, there's no direct way for the Erhnam deck to win off the top of the deck, right? He has to draw something and then wait one more turn.
Yeah. So now he has to be able to...
Yeah, so sometimes it gets through. Like, it's kind of funny how the factory wouldn't even matter here, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Control magic. Dirty. Oh, Yusfat's dirty, Rich. He's got control magic.
I love control magic, though. Like control magic. Is,
these cards. What are you doing?
I think control magic is like a wonderful thing, and until it happens to you, then you can't believe it's happened to you. Oh, that's a threat. That is a serious threat. Yep. Okay.
Yep. We have a game. We have a winner.
Yeah. So I mean, like Pez did what he had to do, right? Creature right away and strip.
Yeah. What he did was, I think, was the right call with the regrowth to just really deny the deck.
Yeah, but I do also think though that like Lotus mode turn 1 with no creature in play already to justify that kind of all in play is questionable. Like,
yeah,
Lotus is so important in this deck, especially when your win condition is Fireball. It doesn't mean save the Lotus for Fireball. It doesn't mean be afraid to use the Lotus. It just means, like, you can get punished and then you don't have your Lotus.
It's I kind of agree with that. Assess like the board first. Let your opponent dump some of his cards.
Yeah.
Then if you see maybe, okay, now is the time to maybe I need to sack the Lotus to play the moat. But yeah, a turn 1 seemed a bit aggressive.
I was looking at the deck pictures. Did you notice if Pez played Sol Ring on turn 1? Because if he did, I think it's safe to presume that the next thing that's coming down is a flying creature, i.e. the Serendip.
Yeah.
Which should direct you like away from cracking the Lotus remote. Now that would be a read, so like it's not like guaranteed, but anyways, okay. Let's see what goes on here. All right, game. All right, next match.
All right, thanks for watching. Testral.
And the mocks too. All right, that's a good start. That's a good answer. It's not like draw 3 cards, but Sol Ring is. We saw what it did last game.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, he went first and followed up with some serious plays. Here, he can't do the same thing because he doesn't have a blue source in play. But a Such
Magooch. Counter spell. Okay.
We're getting a repeat of game 1.
Was he having Suchi main?
No. He brought it in.
Okay, so the sideboard wasn't so. Shame we couldn't see the sideboard. So we know Suchi's were in that. Yeah. Okay, he's got 2 factories.
This is looking like a good. I was gonna say this is looking like a good Armageddon game. If he can, keep attacking with your factories until they get destroyed, and then Armageddon. Could be good.
Moat.
Okay. Land Disenchant would be really amazing here because you get 4 more damage in. Seems good.
Seems good. Rich already down to 11 life.
11 life and nothing in play but lands, which is good for the aggro deck, but...
Yeah, so now he's just... no book present, no library present.
Can't control magic anything, can't Wrath of God anything. If he's choosing to moat, does that mean he does not have Disenchant and or Plow, or does that mean that he's just going for the higher value play? Maybe the higher value play.
Probably a higher value play. It's just it puts more cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it takes care of more problems at once.
Ooh, what's this?
And maybe wants us to keep the Serendip, like the swords for like Serendip or something.
All right, if he passes, I think the correct thing to do here is pass turn. Represent toward the Plowshare. You don't need this. You don't need the 3 cards right now. Okay, he wants the 3 cards right now. Did he play a land already? That's also a factor in this decision. I didn't see if he played a land. If he already played a land, I think this is wrong. If he did not play a land, then it's okay.
I don't. I was looking at actually Pez's side. I don't recall if he did play a land this turn. I think he did.
Wow.
Or maybe he already had the Pearl.
Okay, the speed at which he played that Pearl, I think, tells me he has either Plow or Disenchant. Like that also tells me it sounded a little bit of like a good sound. Like that looked. See, like how fast he played that Pearl is like maybe he didn't have the land or the source, so he was hoping he would draw one off the Ancestral to then represent the Plow, which is like greedy when you're the deck. Just represent the Plow. Just represent the Plow. Draw the 3 cards later. Like you don't have to put yourself in that position. It worked out here, but I don't know, risky.
Yeah, it seems like. So now Pez just holding on to his 1 factory as his win con. So he's got to, he's got to find a plan B because it's only a matter of time before he gets like a disenchant, a swords, a moat, something to deal with the factory.
Yeah, well, again, like if we're joking after turn 1 Ancestral is game over, the second Ancestral is pretty strong, especially when your aggro opponent only has 2 damage on board.
Okay. Tapping 4. Abyss. Moat. Yeah. Disenchant. Counterspell.
Yeah, I think Rich is feeling quite confident at this point.
Yeah, so that's his second counterspell. So now Pez having to...
Armageddon is very...
Oh!
Armageddon would be good, but...
Yeah, but I think he's just trying to get counterspells out of his hand. Because now that's 2 counterspells, 1 mana drain.
That's true.
So now he's trying to get all the answers out of his hand, so maybe trying to slam some cards down. Okay, protecting Divine Offering. Yeah,
and gain some life.
Well, it's just a card advantage too. You really want to get him off that.
Yeah. Yeah, moat's good.
The only card that could like skirt between those two, I think, is like Tetravis. Anything like artifact flying creature, which he's not playing, so it's gonna be really hard for him to get across.
Or Rich just biding his time.
Yeah, just top decking.
But he's at 7. I mean, a well-placed Chaos Orb or Disenchant on the moat really starts to threaten things. It's a shame that it's that Pez's actions are too far, apart from each other.
Yeah,
Rich is able to get more, accrue more resources in the meantime.
Well, it's because Pez doesn't really have a way to like draw, for card advantage. He's not playing any blue power.
Yeah, he was playing,
was he playing
Ancestral in Time One.
Was he playing? Oh yes, okay, he was. Yeah.
Is Rich playing Time Twister? Oh yeah, typically you don't see Time Twister in the deck.
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm like
draw 7s are like you're trying to 1-for-1 kind of with your 1-for-1 or greater with your opponent to take away their resources and control them. You don't want to give it all back to them, kind of.
Yeah.
Like the idea being that you're better. Like when we're in top deck mode, you're better off. So let's not go through it all again, kind of.
It's just the deck having like so many resources, lands, Moxen.
So this will be the first game where the tower actually does something for him, or not yet? Still.
I think he has like 4 or 5 cards in that. Okay, still not good enough, however.
Okay, now he's gaining life, so he gained 1. Just past turn. Yep.
So he really needs a disenchant on that moat. Because then he could swing in for 8.
Yeah. Though I think at this turn, if I'm the... If I'm the deck player, yeah, I'm never countering that. And if I'm the Bant player, I don't know. Maybe I'm asking my opponent if he has counterspell so I can just concede.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is the Tundra Wolves challenge, so... Oh, see? Oh,
Mana
there's the third
drain?
counterspell.
Or his own counterspell? Yeah. Same play. And... is that going to be a victory for the heroes, or... oh no, because it's...
So he's probably going to Swords 1 or Disenchant.
Wait a minute, did he have the mana to do...
Mana
oh yeah,
drain.
yeah, he did, because the Soul Ring.
And the Soul Ring. Well, the Mana Drain's on your next main phase.
No, but like, they have the mana to animate both factories, play Disenchant and play Mana Drain. But he did, because the Soul Ring had one extra floating. Okay, so Divine Offering was a good answer for...
Yeah.
but it looks like the Suchi got put into exile, though. Which it shouldn't have. Yeah, so Suchi makes a lot of sense, actually, as a sideboard piece, because it goes right through the Abyss, right?
Yeah.
Alright, is this a factory beatdown? It is.
It is a factory beatdown.
So
Look
after all that, okay, so this is actually one of the things that can go wrong that we were saying, like, sometimes things just don't work out for the deck, and I think we were saying it in game 1. It's like, sometimes you just draw all your mana sources. Like, the deck is like, look at the picture, there's 31 mana sources.
Yeah.
Half your deck is mana, so, sorry, there's 30 Chaos Orbs in the, but yeah, so there's 30 mana sources. So yeah, like, you can just draw 7 lands, which is what he just revealed. He had a whole hand full of lands, a whole board and a whole hand. So like, one Disenchant, counterspells get used either when they need to or in an unfortunate place, and then that's it. You just kind of get smoked by...
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a really exciting match, you know, between the two players, the Bant and the deck player, and just really amazing plays. And like you said, you know, when half of your deck is mana sources, the odds of you drawing mana is pretty high. And Pez was just able to luck out with that one Mana Drain and just defending, you know, his Disenchant and getting him to win. So
yeah, so
yeah, great match, man. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was also, yeah, it was good, good like foresight and just knowledge by Pez to know to not just try to Disenchant without having some kind of second card to either protect it or bait first. So
yeah, exactly.
So that won him for sure. Won him both games.
Yep. So that was, I guess, you know, time travel to Tundra Wolves Challenge 5, and we hope you enjoyed the video.